Welcome to the Patriot Hour for Thursday, May 16th, 2019. I am Michael, your host. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining in. We know your time is valuable, limited, and we try to bring you tidbits of information as it becomes available. We got some more breaking news here. The deep state spooks deflect, like we knew they would, as the Russian investigations begin into the origins of how it all began. All right. They don't want that to happen. They thought they'd have them out. They thought they'd have them long gone by now. They never thought that it would come back to investigations into how it all started illegally. All right. It might look on the surface, oh, it was all done. We went through the FISA courts. We got the grant from the FISA judges. We brought the evidence at hand. The judges signed off. It's all kosher. But no, we're finding out that there were steps taken to lie to the judges. The judges were duped. People involved in bringing the evidence forward to even present it withheld certain things. They classified things. They had two key people say that the Christopher Steele couldn't be trusted, that he was a ousted FBI former informant, that they weren't paying him anymore, that he had been let go, but yet he was the main source. That it was paid for by the DNC, Hillary, all that withheld. So it wasn't fair. It was never legit. It was crooked cops covering for one party where they had all the evidence in the world to take down, and they started something on another candidate that was all fabricated and dug for 2 years, hoping that something would stick. That's very clear. As we move forward, we're going to keep covering that. All right, so here's an article coming from Big League Politics just about 8 hours ago. So deep state spooks deflect blame as Russia probe origin. Investigation begins. The deep state is in damage control mode. It's about 8 hours ago from Shane Terjo. Following the release of the Mueller report, which made clear that the president, Donald Trump, was not an agent of Russia, the deep state hacks who pushed the conspiracy theory for years were getting ready to turn on each other. So we have seen that. We've seen the turning, the scrambling, the pointing fingers at each other. It's hilarious. One deep state FISA is coming from the dispute between former FBI Director James Comey and former CIA Director John Brennan. Brennan is being fingered as the likely culprit. All right, they're pushing him. Where did that just jump to? All right, here, as the likely culprit behind pushing the discredited Steele dossier as the basis for spying on President Trump and his campaign. Fox News source claim there is an email chain showing that Comey told FBI subordinates that Brennan insisted the dossier be included in the Intelligence Community Assessment, the ICA, that ultimately resulted in multi-year Mueller debacle. All right. Senator Rand Paul, a Republican out of Kentucky, has corroborated those claims in a Twitter post. This came from the 27th of March of 19. Breaking, a high-level source tells me it was Brennan who insisted that the unverified and fake Steele dossier be included in the intelligence report. Brennan should be asked to testify under oath in Congress ASAP. All right, so you got some good people here keeping an eye on all this as it comes in. An unarmed former CIA official is talking to the press and attempting to spin that it was the FBI who was responsible. Former Director Brennan, along with former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, are the ones who opposed James Comey's recommendation that the Steele dossier be included in the intelligence report, the official said. So the former CIA officials also claimed that Brennan and Clapper prevented it from being added into the official assessment, and Comey then decided on his own to brief Trump about the document. Brennan personally claims that the Steele dossier did not play any role whatsoever in the intelligence community assessment that was done and that was presented to then President Obama and then President-elect Trump. Earlier this week, former South Carolina Representative Trey Gowdy said on Fox News that he anticipates these deep state hacks to continue turning on each other as they try to avoid complicity and perhaps jail time for what they have done. All right, so yes, jail time. We've heard about this. Why wouldn't there be? All right, I think it's interesting. Brennan and Comey right now. The only thing they seem to share is hatred for Donald Trump. It's going to be interesting if they begin to turn on one another. I've seen the document. I'm not going to describe it any more than that. Comey's got a better argument than Brennan based on what I've seen, Gowdy said. Deep State's cheerleaders and fake news media, particularly Chris Matthews of MSNBC, are decrying Attorney General Bill Barr's choice of U.S. Attorney John Durham to investigate the origins of the Russian hoax. It is an embarrassment to have an attorney general who looks like Roy Cohn, a guy who will do anything to defend the president, and now has become a hitman, Matthews said of Barr. Not only will he play defense, he's out to destroy the government, the FBI, everything in order to convert the tracks of the president. What do you make of this guy, and how can you stop Barr from doing what he's out to do now, destroy the FBI? Matthews asked. If finding out the plain truth about the motives of the FBI and the other deep state agencies are enough to destroy them, that suggests the U.S. federal bureaucracy is in desperate need of reform. That's how he would tell him to go on somewhere, because that's going to ruin him. Your guys' investigation doesn't lead to anything, so we want to get to the bottom of possibly it doesn't look real legit, and they're screaming that it was. And maybe it could be, but yet every single person involved in the FISA, bringing it forward, working here, they all have been fired. They've all been terminated. They've all been removed from power, stepped down, gone. So we can't trust any of that investigation, right? Again, Comey goes over all of Hillary's crimes blatantly. We wanted the phone. She brought them in pieces. We told her them issued subpoenas to hold information. They bleach bidded the software, the servers. None of that was obstruction, though. They didn't give out, they didn't put anyone under oath. They didn't kick in her lawyer's doors. They went to these people's, called them, to arranged meetings, went over there. Can we get that server? Nah, we really don't think you should. Oh, okay, we were just wondering. We're the FBI. We'd like to take a look at it, but since, we get it. But not for Trump, all right? They kicked doors in. They took things. They got all the paperwork they ever wanted. Talked to hundreds of people. So we know it wasn't a fair deal. So for anyone that says, well, she didn't win. That doesn't, lots of people try to rob banks and they trip and the money falls down and they get caught on the premises. They still get arrested. They still go to jail. They still get tried for you don't just, don't press any charges. We got the money back in the vault. He tripped and we got the bag, and yet he had a gun and he did a bunch of stuff, scared a lot of people here in the bank, but he didn't get the money. It's not how it works, folks. So don't listen to people that tell you that either. Like, she lost, by the way. She's not president. Well, that doesn't stop you from being in trouble for breaking a bunch of laws, all right? We have to apply justice equally. That's what we're all screaming about, right? All right, so we will shut this one down. I just want to bring you that. Again, tidbit, deep state spooks are deflecting as the Russia probe begins into the whole beginning of how it all started, why it all started, and was it legit? We know it wasn't. We know they lied, they withheld, and all that'll come out now. So stay tuned. Again, thanks for all the donations. Share the video across all social media platforms. Take a look in the description box down below. I have the link to this full article and much, much more. So take a look. Leave a comment down in the comment section and take a look. Some of the greatest patriots right here, part of the Patriot Hour from all around the world. Again, I'm Michael. God bless. Godspeed each and every one of you. We'll see you back here soon on the next Patriot Hour update video.